Hello, and welcome back to the Cosmic Alignment Lab. This is a podcast by the Cosmic Touch community for generalist healers, neurodivergent souls, solopreneurs, and more, where we're building a movement to make heart centered and energy led personal and professional development mainstream. I am your host Ishita, an entrepreneur, Reiki master, community architect, and a generalist overall. And in this space, we invite thought leaders, visionaries, and change makers to share their tools, stories, and insights that empower your journey personally, professionally, and spiritually. And today we have with us Romain Daumont. I hope I pronounced that right,
It's
more or
it's
less.
fine. It's totally fine.
And he is the founder of Luminara, a platform dedicated to making energy healing accessible and trusted worldwide. So, Luminara is carefully curating exceptional practitioners and matches them with clients through a seamless remote first experience, which is super cool because energy healing can be done from different spots, completely different spots in the world, right? And his vision is to bring energy and biofield therapies into the mainstream healthcare, starting with simple, beautiful one to one sessions. I think personal, the better, right? And with a global community of healers, he's pioneering a new paradigm of wellness that blends tradition and technology. And Romain's mission is very clear. He wants to help people everywhere, all over the globe, find inner peace and personal transformation in a safe and modern way. So, welcome, Romain. So good to have you here.
Thank you, Ishita. It's great to be here.
Awesome. So, let's get into the real stuff. Tell me, what has been your transformational journey that led you to build Luminara?
Well, it's a profound question, Ishita, and um, like a lot of birth in life, it started with death, and I lost a kid in 2014. I had the joy of um, cuddling this kid for a few days, but we knew, my wife and I, that there was very high chance of him not making it. But this beautiful little Raphael um, changed my life. So after he transitioned, um, I started actually even before that when my wife and I knew that at around 4 months pregnancy there was something wrong, and basically we discovered that my wife and I were both carrying a gene that was mutated, and so therefore there was one chance out of four to having to giving birth to a child that would be having a defective gene, and happens that this particular gene was the one of many that would not allow this child to live very long. Um, So you're looking for answers. Obviously, when you have the toughest moments in your life, these are also the moments where you change the most. And I was looking for answers. I was looking for healing methods that would be different from the usual one. Doctors, and we've met a lot, they're great, but they're not going to give you anything very alternative. So they were just giving you statistics. Now, you don't want
Right?
statistics, right? In
Yeah,
some moments,
you want hope.
you want hope. You want to find ways to heal that child.
Yeah.
But so I started looking into different alternative ways to where we could help our kid. That was the start of a long journey that led me to stop my career in consulting in 2017, and then going into the startup world um, for, well, even today, the more digital startup world. I had already created a startup back when I was in my 30s, early 30s. And yeah, and then there were a lot of moments where that led me to start Luminara. I followed the breadcrumbs, as I like to say. Once you
Hmm.
start your
Love that.
being, mm, your intention is getting clearer and clearer of what you want to
Hmm.
do in life, what your mission can be. And if you're honest about it, then the path will open in front of your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that also takes a lot of courage to follow those breadcrumbs, right? Because it's all in the unknown, right? It's something completely new. So even following your heart, following that passion, and even after, going through such a difficult space with your partner and with your child, I think that's really powerful that you were able to take this on.
Yes, it's in many ways, we all have moments in life where we can stumble, we can fall, and we feel a lot of darkness. Um, Unfortunately, some people, it will take longer for them to get out of this darkness, and some may never get out of it. But for many of us, thankfully, there is something very powerful from these uh, experiences. And actually, a lot of healers on Luminara, they are really skillful and great at what they're doing because they went through this dark night of the soul, as we call it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because it's true that it's hard to really heal, to help heal people, um, when you don't have experienced life enough, when your soul hasn't experienced
Mm-hmm.
this physical beauty and hardship of being on this planet. And these are typically the healers that are on board of Luminara, and that have processed this pain, this darkness into something really
Right.
beautiful. And that's, in my own way, what I've done with Luminara.
Wow, that is such a beautiful way of putting it. Like you took a difficult experience and you found how you could learn and grow from it, right? And now you're putting this platform out through Luminara so other people can do the same. I think that's a really magical way of making positive ripples in the world. And having been through quite a few dark nights of the soul myself, I can I want every listener to know that it is something that you do not need to go through alone. It is something that you very much have support for. There's so much guidance out there. There are so many healers. There are so many ways of receiving healing. And it's just something that we just need to open our mind a little bit more to, and all the love of the world. I call it the unconditional love of the world. That's what I see healing as, to receive that unconditional love. We have all of that available to us at any given moment if we're open to it. So, yeah,
Yeah,
anyone out there who's going through anything slightly dark, even just, do a little bit of gratitude, think about the things you love, and somehow your heart will show you where to go next.
absolutely, 100%. And you're right in saying to everyone watching, listening to this episode of your podcast, that there are so many ways you can get help out there. So many
Mm-hmm.
ways. Now it takes courage to do it. I think it's about this courage that I'm trying to help emerge, because courage
Yeah.
comes from this confidence that you can do it. You're not alone in this, and this is gonna be all right. And so it's um, it's about trusting yourself,
Mm.
and then it's about trusting, the helping hand. Like, which
Yeah.
hand can I hold that I can trust? Because when you're in this moment of vulnerability,
Mm.
um, to get some help, you really want to be in the best hands. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why when I started deeply looking at how is this energy healing going on? You know, how do you find a good practitioner?
Yeah,
And I figured out, well, it's mostly based on the word of mouth, which is
exactly.
fantastic. I mean, I we all love word of mouth. This is the you know the essence of humanity. You know, trusting people that you trust, and then this chain of trust is wonderful.
Right.
The only issue is that it's hard to scale. You know, you won't be able to help so many people, and you don't know. You're not gonna look at someone and say, "Do you need a healer?" You know, no. It's gonna have the person will have. Well, people know that you are one, Ishita, and that's amazing. But you know, some friends would not dare saying to you, you know, "Could you help me?" etc. Sometimes you don't want to be with someone you know too much. Anyway, there are many reasons why I thought, okay, how do you know? How do you do it outside of, you know, word of mouth? And this is when it's coming really complicated because
Mm,
individual websites of people you don't know about, yeah, not so sure. You know,
yeah,
you can click on.
it's tricky.
It's like the.
It's tricky to make a connection online just like that. I agree with that. Yeah.
It is tricky. What's the name of this button, Ishita, on Google? I'm lucky, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
The random one.
The
Yeah.
random one. So you can either browse or just click on one button and hope for the best. Now, with AI, I think a lot of things have changed, obviously. And what we wanted to do is really two things. One is curating, because at some point you need someone needs to take responsibility out there.
Mm-hmm.
Marketplaces, nah, it doesn't work for the end user. It's the business model is just to have as many healers as practitioners as possible, paying a monthly fee. So it's not about actually thinking about the end user as much as getting as many healers on the platform.
Mm,
It can work. I'm not saying, but it's not fundamentally um, intentional enough for me,
yeah.
and
Not
doesn't.
sustainable in the long run.
I don't think it is, especially not with
Yeah.
health. Um, Now, there is a business model that has been existing for years, right? If you think about um, artists,
Mm,
actresses, actors, they have agents. You have
yeah.
talent agencies. You have galleries for artists. Now, this is typically
Mm,
something I've looked at because even though you have a great diploma from whatever art school, will it make you an amazing artist? Not so much.
right. True
Diplomas
that.
don't mean much. As an actor, it's the same, right? Or as an actress, or
Mm,
as a model. So there are so many, you know, people that you got to find outside of just the diploma part. And this is similar to Reiki, to biofield therapies. You have plenty of schools. Some are
yeah.
great, like Brennan School of Light, amazing, very recognized, and some smaller school. Now, does it mean that they're all equally good? No, of course not. So, what we wanted to do is really a talent agency. So,
Mm,
creating a place where we select and we have our ways to select, and it's our kind of secret recipe the same way. How would you say, you know, as a gallerist, you know, I'm picking such and such artist? No, it's complicated. It's not just
yeah.
because she's blonde, he's whatever. No, it's not that simple. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work.
It's, yeah. Nuanced.
Now that's the first thing I want to do, and the second is AI matching. Like AI is such a great tool to match you, and we want to grow quality, but of course it comes with a certain number of healers. So now, how do you make sure that this person's intention is going to be matched with the right healers out of, you know, hundreds,
Mm,
thousands? Later on, we'll have thousands. So AI is amazing for this. It's personalized, and we reduce it to a choice of three. Three is a
mm.
great choice, just the right amount of choice.
Yeah, that's super interesting. What I loved was how you drew a parallel between artists and actors and actresses and healers, because these are all creative professions in my opinion, right? And what I don't know, the insight that's coming in for me was that just like artists display their work, it's so important for healers to also display their work. It's not as easy because there's no concrete tangible artwork, right? It's something that someone felt, a transformation that occurred in someone's life, a testimonial, a video, I don't know. It could be any of those things, but getting a tangible outcome for what a healer does is not possible until you actually taken a healing session. And this is something I've experienced with all of my clients, where anytime I've actually given a healing session, they're like, whoa, I had no idea Reiki could do this or light language could do this, you know? And they were like amazed. They were like, for years I've been taking medicine for this, and now here we are, you know, like over with the medication or whatever. So what I really, really value about your platform is that you actually are able to showcase the talent of these healers and showcase what exactly it is that they do through the words of other people, through actually introducing the healer, and also the care with which you've taken the time to put together these profiles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are, putting them on stage. We're the one um, uh, finding them, onboarding them, filming them. We have each healer being filmed. We send a video artist, local one. We source local artists. We don't fly them from very far. We love sourcing locally. And these films, they encapsulate the beauty, the power of each of our healers. So there is a level of quality in everything we do that is very, very high, so that you, as someone who wants, to get help, you'll really feel a connection, because there's nothing like a good video to feel a connection. So, and a very high quality one. So that's what we do. And I think we're living in a world where now a lot of entrepreneurs, freelancers, individuals, they're expected to do both amazing at what they do job-wise, but also great at marketing themselves.
Totally.
And this is tough.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, how can you be amazing at both selling yourself and actually being an artist, like producing whatever you're good at doing? It is hard. And well, guess what? Sometimes great people at marketing themselves may not be the best at what they're doing, but they're just great at marketing themselves.
Right.
And on the other side of the
Vice
spectrum, you have
versa.
beautiful healers, amazing people, but they're very modest, they're very humble, and they're not going to put themselves out there as much as they should. Because so we're the one that will see them, find them, and say, hey, you're amazing, you're just way, way, way underused, underknown. We're putting you on stage. What about that?
Beautiful. That is such a wonderful way to put together what you're doing, because this is, I think, where the real gold lies, right? In those healers who would otherwise be unseen on such platforms. Because there is more support, more unconditional love on this planet than we can even imagine, right? We live in a very abundant earth, universe, whatever you want to call it. And like finding those gems, the true, like, I don't even know what word to use. Like, it's so beautiful what they do, right? What we do. Finding those gems and popping them together in to make a beautiful painting, an artwork of your own, I think that is just phenomenal. So I think my next question to you, Romain, is how do you see healing becoming more mainstream? Because as of right now, energy healing is still seen as woo woo, like something in the air. People don't understand it so much, where we have scientific evidence, in fact, that it does work. Reiki does work. light language, all of these things work. Like I went to UCLA and they actually have papers on Reiki um, at UCLA Health. So we know it works, but there is a challenge with people actually accepting that. So how do you see that mindset shifting in the potential users of energy healing? And how do you see this industry shifting as, you know, the pharmaceutical industry or the healthcare traditional industry shifting more towards these kind of holistic healing technologies?
It's a fantastic question, and you're right to say that science is proving more and more every day. Scientific papers, for those who want to see them, show that there are many studies, a lot of evidence that this is actually working, and it's not placebo effect. We're partnering with Dr. Jason who um, is amazing, is a healer like yourself, and also someone who wants to contribute to um, providing information about all this evidence-based scientific studies that are out there that no one really reads, and that's why he's very popular at doing this. So we believe in science. I totally believe in science, um, and it's actually on the verge of becoming mainstream.
Mm,
Similar to acupuncture 50 years ago, where people would look at you like, really? You're gonna put needles, thin needles in your
yeah.
body? And you would look at, what is that? That's
Yeah.
weird. And now acupuncture is nothing weird. It's people are doing it, it's fine. Insurance companies now reimburse it across the board in the US, Canada, Europe. Um, so Reiki and pranic healing and shamanic healing and other
Hmm.
energy-based modalities are going to get reimbursed. It's not
Yeah.
a question of if, it's a question of when,
Right.
but it's coming. Mayo Hospital, if you
Mm,
look at oncology, they call it integrative oncology. And what does it mean? It means that they know the pain is so high when you get these treatments
yeah.
that they bring in very different type of healing to help support that process of
Yeah.
of these treatment, heavy treatment. And so you would have Reiki masters, acupuncturists, people doing massage, coming into the clinics. So Mayo Clinic is not the type of place that can be called woo-woo, right? It's not at all
Yeah.
that sort of place. But they're pragmatic. They know it works. They know that it is safe. Um, it will do nothing but good stuff.
Hmm.
And so we in Luminara, we're really just establishing a brand, a place where people will know there are tons of great people out there, but in case of doubt, reach out to us. We're curating so carefully people that you can trust that you'll find someone. Of course, again, word of mouth is amazing. Has worked, will work, will continue working for as long as humanity exists. But there is a need for trusted places that actually do work for the end user, for the clients.
Yeah. Wow, that was very insightful. I think what you mentioned about how acupuncture, right, like shifted its woo-woo perception over the course of 50 years. I super agree. I think energy healing modalities, things like tarot, they're all on the shift. And it's almost like, you know, on a larger scale, that's kind of the revolution that we go through in our development cycles as the earth, right? Like we had the industrial age, we had certain ideas shift away, the Eastern culture was going away as the industrial age was coming up, and now we're kind of shifting back more towards Eastern and ancestral healing modalities. So I think you're right. It's a question of not if, but when. And very much so, I also feel the shift happening in my circles, personally and professionally, where people are now more and more reaching out and asking for, hey, is there something else that exists? I don't want to take medicine for the rest of my life. I don't want to experience burnout like this every time I go to work. And I need something that actually makes a lasting effect in my life without causing trauma to my body.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad when people are hooked to some chemicals for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
And we've seen some pretty heavy scandals in the US and still
totally.
going on with opioids, right?
Mm,
Tarot, I'm not sure it will enter the hospitals, to be honest. This has been, by the way, going on. Like astrology and a lot of things have never disappeared, right? Has never
yeah,
been. It's been, let's say, it's been constantly woo-woo. Like it's, or not, but it depends on people. But I mean, okay, maybe who has statistics on that? But to me, when I was a kid, there was an astrology page in the magazine at the end of many, many magazines. Tarot has been going on for thousands of years. Now, energy healing is interesting because it's quite different. To me, it really is, and that's why I compared it to acupuncture. It's mostly coming from the East, right? I mean, chakra in India, Ayurvedic medicine, you know, energy points. This is all part of Ayurvedic medicine. Same for traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. Meridians. Our bodies are covered with, you know, uh, energy points. Now, Reiki is coming from this Japanese gentleman. And the Western world had a tradition of energy healing practices. Now,
yeah,
shamanism, of course, is from Mongolia, from also other parts of the
Peru.
world. But for obvious colonialists' views that were very much engraved in the Western mentality, has been disregarded. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not scientific enough, it's not proven
Exactly.
enough,
Totally.
it's so they just disregarded it. Now, um, it's coming back. It's just because it's too big, right?
Yeah.
The WHO, World Health Organization, created in 2022 a center for traditional medicine in India. That's actually for the world, happens to be based in India and not in Geneva. Um, and so this is a shift. This is
Yeah.
not
The
coincidence.
transformation.
There is more and more acceptation, and we need to be careful as well. Like, I'm certainly not the type of person that would go saying, "Oh, all these traditional medicine, they're great. Let's go heavy on them." Wait a second. It's like, no, there are good practitioners, bad practitioners. There are people doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Even traditional Chinese medicine. I went in Shanghai. I went to the Museum of Traditional Chinese Medicine, and there's this room filled with um, all these animals parts, and you see rhino horns, and you think, come on, let's forget about that. Maybe I understand that thousands of years ago there were a lot more rhinos, and we had no idea that potentially you could kill all the rhinos in the world by taking their
No.
horns. So I get it, but now that we know it's really important not to kill them, on the contrary, to protect them. Now
Yeah.
let's change that. And it's interesting. I saw actually a whole building on the Innovation Center on traditional Chinese medicine. So innovation also has to come in,
Yeah.
even in the traditional medicine.
Totally. Like, when I was learning Reiki myself, something my master taught me was that Reiki has survived for so long because it chose to adapt and people chose to adapt it towards wherever they were in their life, whatever phase of the world was going on. And I think that is really, really powerful. And another thing that, I was thinking about while you were talking was that not every energy healing modality is right for you. So, for some people, Reiki works well. For some people, light language, pranic healing. But for some people, it can trigger things in your body. So even like choosing the right energy practice is really, really important, and knowing and making informed choices about these things. It's almost like, how a doctor prescribes you medicine. Similarly, I think we need doctors who can prescribe the right energy healing modality, like what will actually support you? Because if it's a challenge in your liver, perhaps Chinese medicine would be better. If it's a challenge of depression or something in your mind or your energy field, then of course Reiki, pranic healing are amazing. Sometimes even somatic healing, especially for PTSD, it's amazing because your body has held and stored all of this trauma and needs to be like literally dispelled. Otherwise, you're going to just keep feeling the same patterns of panic, stress, fear over and over again. So I think it's also very, very important to learn, know, and then make an informed decision about what energy practice you want to go to. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is crucial to for people to make the right decisions. There is no authority,
Hmm.
whether in Western or more
Eastern. Yeah.
um, energy-based medicine, that would actually be 100% sure. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. You have a cancer today, tomorrow, you go see an oncologist, and you go see another one, and you go see another one. They won't tell you the same thing. They won't give you the same diagnostic and the same treatment.
Yeah.
So we don't do diagnostic. We're not a hospital. Um, but um, at some point, you need to make a choice. Like, out of these three oncologists, which one would you trust?
Right.
So
Totally.
we took the same approach in the sense that we propose three healers, and you can have a free discovery call. First of all, that's very helpful, um, which is a must, I think. But also, you choose. I think that's why we take so much care into creating those videos, because we really want people to relate. Like, okay, I see exactly how this person answers the same question as the other person or the other practitioner, and therefore I can tell myself, okay, I like that. I feel this is right.
Yeah.
So you also need to think, but also to feel what's right for you, and you can't just ignore that part of personal fit and heartfelt moment
Yeah.
uh, that is essential to me in the healing process.
Absolutely. Can't agree more. I think intuition is a really beautiful way to find the right fit for you, but also trial and error. Even, when doctors prescribe medication, they always say if you get allergic, see how you feel for the first 2 or 3 days. If it feels good, great, let's continue. Doesn't feel good, stop immediately, come back to us. Right? So, taking a similar mentality towards energy healing, of course, while considering what the healer tells you you should expect in the next few days, right? Um, I think that could be a very good way to make better decisions when it comes to energetic work. Definitely. All right, Romain, we've gotten super deep into the energetic stuff and the healing and, our personal stories. So I want to now make it a little bit lighter and ask you our last question for today. What do you think is your spirit animal and why?
Yeah, that's a fun question. Well, um, I actually had a training on controlled remote viewing last year. That was fantastic, by the way. And I went on having another training on synchronicities, which was also
Hmm.
very fascinating. Training or learning, I don't know if you can call it training. Um, and I had to pick up an animal from this random database. Like you click on a page on the internet, and it's like there are thousands of animals. You just click on that.
Yeah.
Fun fact is that I see this bird. I see this bird, and this bird in French is called ara, A-R-A. So I think in English, let me check how it translates into. In English, it's the macaw, Macaw. So this
Yeah, they're
very colorful
beautiful.
bird, very beautiful. Fun fact is that Ara is the only animal that sits inside of Luminara. So that was
Oh,
such a fun
coincidence?
coincidence. Coincidence? I
Synchronicity?
don't think so. Who was saying that coincidence doesn't exist? It's just God hiding in
Yeah,
in our
in plain
lives.
sight.
So
Yeah.
that was such a fun, um, blink from I blink from the universe. So yeah, maybe this is my animal, the macaw.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And macaws are very intelligent beings. I've actually like held a macaw when I was in Singapore. And they are so majestic, a little scary up close with their beaks, to be very honest. But
It's like
so
me. If I'm very
beautiful.
close to you, maybe I'll be scary.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. But yeah, really majestic beings and they always give me a sense of like they know more than I could ever know. So yeah, that's an awesome
What is
spirit
yours,
animal.
Ishita? What is yours?
Mine is actually the owl.
Oh, it's a bird as well.
Yeah, I'm
Kidding.
very connected to the owl. Um, it actually, like, I used to go for these walks back when I lived in India to a park near my house, and every time I would go to that park, like, I would see that same owl, like, at different spots. It would just pop in front of my face sometimes, and we would make like eye contact, and I would feel that connection with it. And yeah, that's when I was like, yeah, this is my soul animal. Um,
Wonderful. Macau and owl. That's amazing.
yeah. All right. So it sounds like we're both bird people, and maybe there's a connection between bird people and healers or entrepreneurs who are working with healing. Who knows? We'll find out in the next few episodes. So thank you so much for coming on, Romain, and sharing so honestly and transparently about Luminara. For anyone who wants to book a session, we do have a 15% discount code in partnership with the Cosmic Touch, and you can use the code LumiCosmic15. I will also pop that in the description, of course. And if you need any support, we'll put some links to connect with both Romain and me in the description. And we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you. The website is luminara.care, just for people to know.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Romain.
Thank you
And
again, Ishita, for inviting me. It was amazing. Thank you.
awesome. Thank you. See you all next time. Bye.
Bye.